couldn't have any bearing over it.
Right.
But if you constantly uh thinking about sexual desires, or even things, or ministering things, you know what I'm saying? Thinking about how to harm somebody. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
You become a slave to these things,
Right.
and that's not good, because then there's a disconnect between you and the spiritual power.
Con.
Because you could
Could
only
you
serve
could
your
you
own master.
could you yeah, con. Con. I
So,
would
right. Go ahead.
Because let me finish. Just say you could be
mm,
you could be a slave to sin, which leads to death, or you can choose to obey power, which leads to righteous living. So those are your choices. And I'll read it in the KJV, because you got it in the KJV right there, right?
yeah, I could read it. I could read it. Yeah, I got it. So this is Romans 6:16 in the KJV. It says, "Know ye not that to whom ye yield yourself servants to obey, his servant you are to whom ye obey, whether of sin unto death or of obedience unto righteousness."
So exactly.
So basically, the scripture saying is that you only can have one master, right? You're either going to be a servant to righteousness or wickedness, a servant to obedience or sin. See, you only can have
Now,
one
now,
master.
right
Right,
now, James 1:14 shows its relevance, right?
right,
It says temptation comes from our own desires, which entices us and drags us away, right? Let me go back to the KJV. I keep forgetting to switch. It says, "For every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed," right? Then
right,
15 says, "Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth." Conceive is to be a full thought. It's born.
right,
You get what I'm saying? It's born into a reality within your head, right? It brings forth sin. When it is finished, bringing forth death. So when it brings forth sin and then it's finished, that breeds death,
right,
because you became a slave to that.
right. And what you describe is the process, right? Because before it started as, before you accepted that thought, right, and before it became an action, right. So it
It's
started.
just that.
It started off as a decision, like we read in Romans 6:16, right? You have the option to either being obedient to righteousness or obedient to sin. So once you are tempted, right, you already making that decision in your mind of submitting to that sin or committing that sin. You see, you're already making the commitment. You get it? So now, once you made that commit in your mind, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? Because of the lust thereof,
Right,
because you entice, because you desire this, and you commit into it, like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. That's what follows the physical action. So that
right,
what you said is beautiful with Romans 6:16 and James 1:14 and 15, because those both are showing the processes of what happens when you basically make that decision of, okay, I'm going to commit this act. And it might not be willful sinning. It could just be under, because we fight in spirit. So you could fall short and
that's exactly what it is. Because it's not, no one in this truth willfully sin.
right,
But like what Paul was saying about his flesh, he said in Romans, he said, I don't will to do. He said, I do what I will not to do.
right,
You get what I'm saying? So, and that's because of the flesh. Spiritually rather, he beat death. He beat sin. But being that he's attached to this physical body, this flesh, he's drug out. He has no choice but to submit to the will of the flesh. Real quick,
hmm
um, Amav,
Yo, Shalom.
get Romans 8 and 5
Khan.
and read that. Read 5 through 6. You got something you wanted to pull out?
no, 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 that was beautiful. But see
Uh,
I would want to
What you said,
add
Romans 1 and 5?
8 and 5.
Oh, 8 and 5.
um
eight.
I, yeah, 8 and 5. I would want to add 1 Peter 5 and 8 is a good mention because it says, "Be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary the devil is as a roaring lion seeking whom he may devour." So Satan is constantly attacking us on the daily. He's constantly seeking out
Come.
because we have this truth. So he's going to try to entice us, knowing, because Satan studies us and he knows our vices. So he's going to try to use our vices to weaken us to where we are where we commit sin. You know what I'm saying? And ultimately, his goal is to where we commit a sin to where it fucks our conscience up and we just give up. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to mess our conscience up, our minds, and make us give up. So yeah.
This is why the scriptures say if he gets advantage of us, right? If he gets advantage of us, we are not ignorant to his devices, right? Lest he get advantage. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So the less he get advantage is speaking on if you allow, meaning you willfully allow that thought to fester and take over. And by taking over, you became what? The slave. You enslaved yourself to the will of something outside of you and your power. All right, could you get Ephesians 4:22? You got that, Romans?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it up.
It's the book of Romans. This is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse. You said verse 5, right?
I said 8. I said 8. Yeah, 5 and 6. Yep.
Okay, Con. It says Romans 8 and 5. For they that are, for they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are the spirit, the things of the spirit. Hold on 1 second, Salakia. For to be,
No, you good.
huh? Yeah, Con. It says, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace. And we
Right.
can do verse 7 too, if you would like. It says, because the carnal mind is enmity against God, which is it means power. It's talking about Yahweh. It's enmity against Yahweh, for it is not subject to the law of God, neither indeed can be.
Right, because you already submitted your will to the thing that's causing you to willfully sin.
Come.
So now you took yourself out of the equation of the 144,000. You put yourself on the chopping block to
Right.
be the leader of the 2/3.
Right.
You became the chief organizer. chief organizer of the 2/3 of the 2/3 party.
Became a guerrilla Hebrew.
Right. Something like that. That's crazy. I like that, though.
That's not true though. They said that he was getting pegged and shit like that.
That was true.
That's true.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. That's how. Remember the scriptures say that.
This is how you know. This is how you know it's true, because he was trying to exclude. What's that noise?
Oh, I was coughing. Sorry.
Because he was exuding masculinity, right? And his masculinity was turning into gangsterism.
Yeah.
He was walking around with pistols. He always had a frown on his face. He had a hat on. He was trying to represent, I'm so tough. But that was because in secret you was letting your woman put something in. You know what I'm saying? So she was putting something to him, and she had that secret. So he had to walk on eggshells around her. So when he got around the fellas, he was super tough. He was a super thug.
Man is fake. He's a
Yeah, it's crazy. Kodash, you got that precept?
Yeah, I got it. You said Ephesians.
4,
Hmm?
22. 4, and 4, 22 and 23.
Yeah, I got it right here. Excuse me. It's Ephesians chapter 4, verses 22 and 23. It says that ye put off concerning the former conversation the old man, which is corrupt according to the deceitful lust. Yeah, so like the scripture saying, you gotta change, right? This is living waters, like it says in John 4 and 14. These are a flow of living waters. So these are living waters. So it's constantly moving. So you have to move with it. So you can't stay the same person. The things that you did in the world is not gonna apply here in the truth. You gotta change. This truth is gonna require you to change and see if the Lord knows that you are the elect, the Lord's gonna force you to change. So you don't want the Lord to force you to change because the Lord will put people, places, and circumstances in your life to force you to change. Okay? Because you cannot stay the same man. You can't stay that old man being in his truth. That those ways of the world or those habits that you learned in the world, you gotta mortify it. That's what it's talking about, the mortification of the flesh, killing it off. Mortify means to kill it, right? You gotta stop those habits that you did in the flesh and when you was in the world, right? Stop hanging out with those people that you did in the world, right? Stop doing a lot of the sins and the wickedness that you was doing in the world, and even if you and yes, you know going so far as don't, even if you're not committing sins or these people don't, yeah, even if you're not, which you shouldn't, of course not, committing sins willfully, don't be around individuals or certain environments that will that will um that will disturb your spirit, that will weaken your virtue. You know what I'm saying? That will bring you back in. That will, what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bring you back into the world.
If it offend thee, cut it off.
That will give you remembrance of that old man. Remind you of that old man. Bring back memories. Entice you to desire to be that old man. So don't be around places and things that's gonna entice you to try to be that old man, right? The you that you were in the world, because you're now the Lord called you in this truth, right? He called you to, and he's building you up into a new creature in him, right? In this truth, right?
Mm-hmm.
As an Israelite man, not no ninja in the world, right? He's building you up with this knowledge to be an Israelite man, not a ninja. So stay away from people, places, and things that's gonna turn you into that ninja that you was when you was in the world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So look, this right here is gonna close out on this segment because it's not a topic, it's like a segment because we're going through different precepts that speaks to the very thing that's he's what he said. We be right back after these messages.
Oh yes, that's a fact. That's a fact. We'll be right back after these.
Oh look, this Second Corinthians 10:5. It says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of power, and bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of a Mashiach. You understand? So what you're doing is you getting rid of those things that's gonna become an obstacle for you,
Right.
and you taking on the thoughts, more like the ways and thoughts and actions of Yahweh Shah. You get where I'm coming from? So you putting down the pressures or the snares, and you lifting up the spiritual guidance that's needed to continue in this walk, to assist you in this journey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, that was it on that. But you got it, cause I'm gonna pull up something else. Cause it's so. Oh, actually, my bad. Could you get First Timothy's?
I get it.
Hold on. Yeah, First Timothy's 6 and 9.
1 Timothy 6 and 9.
Oh yeah.
This is speaking to um what causes people to drown by from their desires. You
This
know
is
what I'm saying? You can read 10 too if you will.
all right, come. This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 6 and verse 9 and 10. But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition.
Many foolish and harmful lusts, right? Harmful desires, right? No, my bad.
No, no, no. It said
NLT.
hurtful lust,
No, no, no.
foolish and hurtful
It
lust.
says many and hurtful lust. Many foolish and hurtful lust, right? Foolish is being misled to think that everything can be accomplished and received through money, through values, through items, through possessions. Oh, I got a house, I got a car, I got a lot of money, I got a Rolex watch. All of these
Vanity.
tangible with vanity things, but not that's not the word I was looking for. It's more no,
Materials.
it's material things. It's things in life that is gonna have a things in life that has an expiration date.
Right?
It's
Perishable.
all gonna die. It's all gonna die. It's all gonna pass. The dollar is on its way out. You understand what I'm saying? You ain't gonna be able to have your home once the dollar exceeds, because what happens? People start um turning to stealing. They start bum rushing cribs. They kicking doors in. You understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
So your house is definitely on the chopping block, especially if you live in any community that's suffering. And you know what's crazy? The rich are going to be the ones doing the most damage. The poor are people who are accustomed to these circumstances. So they're not going to lose their mind. They ain't going to go ape shit the first 3 days. Maybe after a week they'll start, all right, I got to do this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying? But the first people that's going to go ape shit are the richest motherfuckers on the planet.
Yeah, because they ain't used to that life.
Yeah, they're not used to that. You see what happened? When was that? What was that? That was called the recession, the Great Recession.
What, 2008, or you talking about the Great Depression?
The Great Depression was that? That was like in the 40s, right?
Yeah, that was, I think, 1933 in the 30s. Yeah, that was in the 30s for sure. Yep.
Yeah, what they were doing, blowing their fucking brains out, jumping off buildings. You understand where I'm coming from?
Right.
They were showing their weakness, and this is what happened when you are a slave to outward things that's meaningless. You know what I'm saying? And it says, which drown men in destruction and perdition. So you went to 10? No, right?
No.
Now, I just want to real quick look up
Right.
the definition of foolish. I got it in the Greek here.
Okay. Yeah, you got it.
Ain't no athos. Ain't no athos. I know athos. I know ethos. I think in the Greek, I know ethos. Strong G 453. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says
Press the speaker.
I'm trying to. It's not going.
Oh.
I know ethos.
I got you. Hold on, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Strong's G 453. Anaitas.
Aniatas.
There you go.
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Strong's G 453. Anaitas.
Calm. Aniatas. So this is Strong G 453. Aniatas, which is the Greek word for foolish. And when you go into the definition, right here when it says outline of biblical usage, it says not understood, unintelligible, not understanding, unwise, foolish. So foolish in this word foolish tied to this verse in 1 Timothy 6 and 9 is speaking about someone who's unwise, who has no understanding, right? They don't understand that the very things like you was touching into Aharon, the very things that they're engaging in is actually going to destroy them. Like it's not going to benefit them. You see what I'm saying? Them
Mhm.
them sleeping with certain type of women, buying certain type of things, hanging around certain type of groups of people, doing certain type of business, or just whatever sin or pleasures that they get into is not benefiting them, it's hurting them. But in their mind, because they unintelligible, right? Like the scriptures say, they not smart, they don't have any understanding. They think this is going to benefit them. They think the end justify the means. You see, when it's really going to destroy them. You know.
Yeah. But that's why they say in that saying, it feels like heaven on your way to hell, because these people really about to feel it. Hellish conditions are gonna rise on this earth. I don't give a fuck where you at. It's gonna get hot. You know what I'm saying? America is the hot zone, of course. America, yeah, this is ground, this is the land. This is the land where the Lord is gonna come in swiftly. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, man. But things are about to heat up, man. So, but the brother was saying, spot on. I just want to,
Come on.
man.
Yeah, you gonna finish 10 or
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll read 10. I'll read 10. Yeah, yeah.
Here you go. Hmm?
All right, this verse 10. It says, "For the love of money is the root of all evil." Okay, that's the root. That's the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So you love money. So what are you willing to do for it? That's the next question. You know what I'm saying? Anybody,
that's the
you could
part.
be anybody's
That's the
slave.
part.
You could be anybody's slave.
That's the
Anybody
part.
could put you on their leash because
Yeah.
money. You can put money in front of anything. Okay, okay, all right. So boom, you love money. Let me see. You know what I'm saying? And just put your mind to it. Well, what could I say? Anything. You could literally become somebody's servant. So if you love money, you gotta. You know what I'm saying? You gotta come out of that spirit. You actually gotta repent and pray to the Lord. Like, yo, money ain't it, yo. But your relationship and faith is your riches. Faith is your true currency to operate within existence. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Faith is that currency. Faith is what's going to get you rewarded with great rewards, abundance, and salvation. Faith can move mountains and governments. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. And just to add on real quick, we need money. Scripture said, render unto Caesars with the Caesars,
Of course, yeah.
and render unto Yahweh Shemal Shah, what's Yahweh Shemal Shah's. And that question was asked to Yahweh Shah regarding taxes.
Right. Should we
So
pay?
the Lord basically saying, pay your taxes, right? Do what you have to do to maintain yourself in society,
But
right?
make sure you
But
also
like
do what the Lord's word.
required to you to do, right? And that's the mindset you should have is, your real riches is this truth. Your real riches is the word, knowing this word, knowing this
Right.
truth, not the money, not chasing after money, right? We against chasing the money spirit. We're not telling you not to use money.
Money,
Like you need
money's defenses. You know
right. Money is a
that's how
defense. You
you
need it,
operate within
to a degree.
this world. You know what I'm saying? It's the
Right.
currency system. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
what's more important? See, when you put two of them,
Right.
right? What you choosing? Your faith. You know what I'm saying? That's why when it comes time when the mark of the beast, we don't give a fuck about these monies or chips or none of that. All of the vanity shit. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be as pilgrims upon the earth, and that's real life. People say that. Our forefather Ezra said that. And those evils be even as pilgrims upon the earth. And I just want to get that definition of pilgrims because it actually tells you a person traveling to a sacred place. You know what I'm saying? And that our sacred place is the chariot. You know what I'm saying? Getting beaten up by the Babylon because it's not our rest. We're not at rest. We're never at rest. We constantly got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? We always in debt. You got to do this. You got to do that. And you operate within their society. You're in their system. And they're a slave. You know what I'm saying? So we're economic slaves. So what we do is we operate and we maintain, hold fast until your house comes. Endure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It gets hot sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it get a little bit too comfortable, but even with that comfortability, watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? That ass, watch yourself because that's Satan trying to, you know what I mean? Try to give you that little underhand deal. You know what I mean? Under the table, trying to get you too comfortable. Don't get comfortable. We on enemies lines. If you got a place to stay, a place to stay, consider it like okay, this is just one stop. You know what I mean? You just there for a season. Honestly, truthfully. That's the whole truth. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't comfortable here. Any moment we could lose it. We could lose all our accounts, everything. What the fuck do you really own? That's the real question. And wake up to that. Wake up to that. People get so foolish and comfortable with the shit that comes with this world. Man, this world is perishing. You know that. America is circling the toilet bowl. And again, dark. You know what I'm saying? Gross darkness to people for sure. All right.
Most definitely. Yo, y'all got anything else? Cause I gotta go back.
Yeah, Con.
No, we could just finish out First Timothy 6 and 10. It says,
6 and 9.
yeah, 10.
We got time for a song or no?
No, we don't got it.
Okay.
First Timothy.
Now you can bring it out as long as you do it quickly.
Okay, I get a small song.
It says, "For the love of many is the root of all evil."
Love of money.
Slack it. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some covet after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Right. So that's not only talking about the people in the world, but also in the truth, because it said they have erred from the faith. You know, brothers actually, the elders and the bishop that have testimonies of it. You know, brothers that was once in the camp actually fell out because they wanted to chase a career, a job opportunity. So they stopped coming to camp.
What is that? What is a job, man? Like you become a slave to it. You see, once again, you become a slave to
You're a slave to everything. You're a slave to anything and everything. Long as it's not. You become a slave to anything and everything that has anything to do with this truth, man. But the Lord said, real quick, the Lord said, He said, use the world.
Yep.
Not abuse it. Right. You understand? So to use the world is the benefit, right? I got a home, I got a woman, I got children, so I need money in this place and time to take care of them.
Right.
So I do what I do for that purpose, but I don't put nothing before this truth.
Absolutely.
The job is not in front of the truth.
Absolutely.
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying? Circumstances, because we're in this world, circumstances causes us to work, on the Sabbath. Sometimes we put off camp for another day based on working schedules and so on and so forth. But if you put off a thing for tomorrow, it's way different than not doing it at all.
Right. Because
you get where I'm coming from?
The end shall be saved. You know what I'm saying? Continuing.
Exactly.
That's the thing with the elect. The elect have this one trait that they're consistent with their service to the Lord. You know what I'm saying? They're not just some niggas that say they believe. No, they actually serve the Lord day in, day out, praying, doing whatever they do. You know what I'm saying? They're aware of their power.
Right.
They're consistent.
Yeah, you got that
song?
You got that song? Yeah. You was finished with that, right?
Yeah. I was gonna say real quick, I heard it that demon, talking on Kanye, he was the one that coined this quote. He said that slavery is a choice, and even though he's a wicked ninja,
he was on point.
He was on point with that, because when you look at it in a spiritual aspect, it is a choice, because like we read in Romans 6:16, you either have the option of being a servant to sin or obedience. So
obedience to the power.
Right.
Exactly.
You either obey, resist Satan and obey Yahweh Shema Shah, or give in to those lusts and temptations, and let it, drown you, let it destroy you. These are the only two options, life and death. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You either overcome or you let it, overpower you. You know what I'm saying? So slavery is a choice. You know, it's just that the thing is people don't realize that they're making it because they don't realize it is a choice.
Absolutely.
It's like they only see one way. You know, the 2/3 only see one way. You know, they see sin.
They're wise to do evil.
Right. They only see sin as the way, wickedness as the way. But for the elect, they only see one way. That's that tunnel vision, that narrow. They only got one sight, one view of sight, which is the straight gate, which is salvation. You know, the truth.
The path of difficulty.
Exactly, the narrow path, that path of difficulty, right? That's going to lead to salvation. So with the elect, their view, what they got in sight is salvation. You know what I'm saying? Righteousness. You know, that's all they care about. That's all they seeing, right? That's going to lead to the kingdom.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Beautiful.
So slavery is a choice.
Slavery is the choice. That was deep, huh? That was deep.
Yeah.
One deep.
Not trying to be too deep, but
No, one deep. That was deep, yo. All right, I got the psalm. You ready, Con, this is the book of. All right, this is the book of Psalms, chapter 149, verse 1. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. Sing unto the Lord Yahweh a new song, and his praise in the congregation of saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. Let them praise his name with the dance. In the dance. Let them sing praises unto him with the timbrel and harp. Let the Lord Yahweh, for the Lord Yahweh taketh pleasure in his people. He will beautify the meek with salvation. Let the saints be joyful in glory. Let them sing aloud upon their beds. Let the high praises of God Yahweh be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hand, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people, to bind up their kings with chains and their nobles with fetters of iron, to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord Yahweh. Bahashem Bahasham.
yep.
Yo, that's future prophecy right there.
Yep. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, we're gonna have a two-edged sword of singing.
What is that again? Psalm what?
149.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
Real quick.
Yeah, that was nice.
Real quick,
Like that.
that's one of my favorite songs right there.
Mm-hmm.
Because we gonna wake up mighty men like you singing to the Lord. Perfect. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. All right, let's close out, brothers.
Yeah.
Beautiful lesson, man.
I didn't even feel like an hour. I felt like 25 minutes.
Come on.
Nah, that's an hour, almost an hour and a half.
Come on.
122. All right.
Lord willing, this was an edifying, exhorting lesson to you brothers and sisters, believers out there, round about. You know, we're going to close out by giving all the praises and the glory and the honor to the name of our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, like always, double honors at the water to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone GMS. The water for your great labor. And till next time, Kwame Yasha'Allah. Abad Babol. Abad Babol.
Shalom. Peace to the gods.
Peace to the gods.
Peace to the gods. Shalom to the gods. Shalom.
Shalom to the kings. Abad Babol. Shalom.
Shalom. I'll bring that Clippers tomorrow.
Oh man, how you read my mind? Man,
I got you.
I need to chop down these trees, man.
I got you, brother.
The water.
All right, shalom.
Shalom.
All right, safety.
Like
to you too. That's right.
Man, you know, after you done doing the work, you got that good feeling, man. You just do the work of the Lord. Oh, it even pays off, man. That's how I pay.